Okay, and I'm going to admit. Oh, a lot of you people are coming in early. Okay. Hi, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I just unmuted everybody. I think
Oh, okay.
right. I'm going to pause the record and hit the record button there. And then I'm going to share my screen. So essentially today, we're going to cover the protocols, well, the settings, first of all, and some of the protocols to use when we're Zooming. So let me just get my browser here and get to Zoom. So we're going to ask that you sign into the web-based version of Zoom to do this, not through the client. Although you could try it through the client, it's eventually going to force you back to the web-based. So either way, you're going to end up being led back to the web-based. So, oops, well, what did I do? Sorry.
Karen, I'll stop you right there.
I beg your pardon?
I'll stop you right at that point. What's the difference between the web-based and the client?
Okay, so you can see I'm in my browser right now. I'm using Chrome. So I'm going in through, I've opened up my Chrome browser and I typed in zoom.us. So that's the browser based. Okay, so that's the web-based browser based version. And then the client is the one that I hope that you downloaded and installed onto your computer as that lives on your device. Oh, I have to let some more people in, sorry. Just a second here.
So don't use the little camera thing to set it up. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see, I hope on my device that I've got my icon over here on the left-hand side for my client-based one. That's what you should be looking for, at least on a MacBook. And then I'm here right now online on the web-based version of Zoom and signed into my profile thing there. So to get there, you'd go to your where your little picture is on the web. Okay, and once you click that, once you've signed in, you're going to come to this top level page. Okay, so just want to walk through then the settings. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of things here today because not only are we going to go through our settings, but we're also going to make sure that our Outlook is connected to Zoom so that you can set up your meetings through your email system. Does that make sense? I think I took you through this the other day, Carolyn.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. We'll do that last. Let's just look at the settings. So go over on the left-hand side when you're on this page and click on settings. Molly. Okay.
Can someone mute for the person with the clock?
Yeah, we might have to just go through a protocol. A couple of protocols for Zoom meetings is to please mute yourself if you are not speaking. And we're going to be asking that of students, so it's just good etiquette to follow that. Okay, so here's where you're going to set up your default settings for meeting. Do not have this one activated. Start meetings with host video on, keep it off. Participants video, really important, keep this one off too so that you have some kind of control when they enter the room. That's what's been unfortunately happening with Zoom bombing, is that people have been crashing in, hacking in, and you know, showing some naughty stuff. Okay, telephone and computer audio, please choose that, make that choice. Join before host, please do not choose that one. I have my personal meeting things get meeting room default. I think I'm going to turn that off. Okay, so you can see my settings have been updated. We want you to, I think the recommendations by Zoom right now is to have a randomly generated code being made for each meeting. Personally, before last week and all the Zoom bombing stuff took place, I was using the personal meeting room, so there would be a consistent code, and that would be wonderful for best practice, but we can't do it in the current situation with the privacy that's being, that's going on. So Nick, you're just joining us, and for those of us, those of you who maybe came in just in the last couple of minutes, we are looking at Zoom.
I have a question. I have a question there when you're talking about consistent bombing, because Zoom communications are encrypted. So what's the problem?
I'll send you the article later. It's not encrypted to the way they should be. There's been some questionable practices around what they are calling encryption. I'll send you the links that I've been reading. I've literally been in contact with some of the board members over the weekend who are expressing a lot of concern about this and their children being exposed to this kind of thing. So we have to bear in mind that we have a responsibility as educators who are going to be using these spaces to really have our very best privacy concerns addressed. Like, we'll be able to say that we've done all that we can to keep our kids safe. So I'll just continue. Nick, I think you joined us a little bit late. We're on the web-based version of Zoom at the profile, which you get to by the little face in the top right-hand corner. So we're now on settings page, and just some of the things to have unclicked.
Sharon, are you going to say the same thing to the students and or parents so that they have the same settings, or should we make sure that they have the same settings?
If you're setting up, these settings are for when you are personally hosting a Zoom meeting, right? So you're scheduling the meeting, you're in control of it, you are the host. For when the students come in, we're not going to be asking them to set up Zoom, like to be setting up Zoom meetings. I would assume not. They'll have to do that on their own time, so to speak. But when we're responsible for setting up the Zoom meeting, these are the settings that you want to have in place. Does that answer your question, Kim? Okay, great. I can see now. I'm going to attempt to turn this one off, require a password when scheduling new meetings. And that maybe was my problem this morning. Okay. Require a password for instant meetings. I am mixed about this one. I hadn't had that one turned on before, so I have a feeling Zoom's gone in and actually changed things for me on my behalf, because there were some changes being made. I'm going to keep that one on. Require password for personal meeting ID. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be using the personal meeting room. Oh, this one's very important, okay? Embed password and meeting link for one-click join. And that's a good one because we want to make it as easy as possible for our students to be able to get into the Zoom meeting. Having said that, I think the best practice for us to be sending out invitations is not to be dropping that link into Teams or even any other space like that, but to really only use email, individual emails that we send out to the students, and only 30 minutes or so as a best practice, so that they won't be tempted to share that link. We just have to be really careful, right? Require a password for participants joining by phone. I'm going to say we probably should leave that one on. Mute participants upon entry. This is, again, is another really important one. Very, very important that video and audio be turned off, and so the students or anyone else can't come in and Zoom bomb. Chat. Yes, I like the idea of chat, but prevent participants from saving chat, I think, is a good practice. Do not allow private chat. I think that's not good because you won't have control over what's being said. Auto saving chats, it's up to you whether or not you want to save that chat, and it depends on the meeting, right? So I've got it turned off right now. Play sound when participants join or leave. I found that when we were working with the students the week before we had our break, when I had this turned on, it was very distracting to the students when they kept hearing all the chimes. So as a best practice, just to be heard by the host only is what I think should be selected. Okay, file transfer. I'm mixed about this. I think it really depends on what you plan to do with it. I've got it turned on right now. I say let's do a wait and see with that one, and hopefully the students won't take advantage of it and send nasty stuff, or anyone else for that matter. Feedback to Zoom, leave it on. I'm not sure you guys have these features. Maybe somebody could let me know if you're seeing co-host and polling, because I do have the pro version. Can someone just chime in and say whether or not you're seeing it on their page?
No, we do not.
No,
Okay.
can't see it.
That's what I thought. Okay. How about always show meeting control toolbar? Yes.
Yes.
Show Zoom windows during screen share. I've got that turned off. Screen sharing. This is another one that's super important to have as host only. You can change that in the middle of the meeting if you do want to invite someone to share their screen. So it's not, but it's something I would definitely not have this one turned on going in, because the kids would hijack, the students could hijack the screen. Okay, so who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? Host only. Disable. I'm not sure if you're seeing this one. It seems to me this one might be a pro version one as well. Disable desktop or screen share in a meeting and only allow sharing of selected
We
applications.
do have that one, yes.
Okay, I have that one turned off because I do like allowing people to come in and share their screen. Annotation and whiteboard activated. I've got auto save on. Remote control. During screen sharing, the person who is sharing can allow others to.
Excuse me, I wanted to say something on sharing screen there.
Okay.
Sometimes when students are taking an online exam, I think we can enable that so that you can monitor them to some
Okay.
extent.
Yeah, I doubt we're going to be doing online exams, but yeah. Okay, nonverbal feedback. That's important to have. You might not actually have that one. Allow removed participants to rejoin. I've got that one activated because we really do. We want to have the ability to both remove students and put them in a waiting room, or kick them out temporarily if we need to, and then allow them to rejoin. Allow participants to rename themselves. I think we're going to wait and see with that one. I've got it activated, but if the kids are starting to really take advantage of it and, with silliness, we'll have to make a decision around that. Breakout room, I would really love to try this, and maybe in the coming days, maybe a couple of you could volunteer to help me understand how to get this set up, because I think that could be really valuable for us if we want to have small group discussions when we're in a meeting with our students.
Hi, Sharon. With a breakout group, I could probably help with that because I have used it with my classes the last couple of days. It worked really well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so I like the idea. So
Okay.
I can play around with it.
Okay, we'll chat later. Okay,
Yeah.
that would be great. Okay, virtual background, and again, from what I've heard from teachers, they're mixed on this. Some people want the students to use it. Others find it distracting. It's really up to you. If you want to change that for that particular group that you're in, the purpose of the group that you're meeting for. I mean, if it's during something like advisory, maybe it's fun to see other people's backgrounds and stuff. I'm just going to turn this off. Just quit out of that. Okay. Okay. Doing this all great. Identify guest participants in the meeting or webinar. Yes. I'm not even sure you guys are seeing all that. Oh, there's the waiting room activated. I think this is going to become very important. And this is best practice again that people are putting out now that Zoom's had all these issues, is to use the waiting room and let them in one by one. And I think you guys can all see the sense in that. So Charlie was doing it today. And allow a join from browser link. I think that's going to be important because not all of our kids have the ability maybe to download and install the Zoom app on their device. So we have to make it as easy as possible for them to join us. Cloud recording. By the way, I'm not doing cloud recording right now. I am recording straight onto my machine, and a couple things I want to say about that. If you're choosing to record with your students, first of all, make sure you have enough room on your laptop or device, because it takes a lot of space, and I was bumping up against that. Second of all, if you are choosing to share a recording that has student faces on it, that has student interaction on it, we're going to ask that you do not publish that in a public online space like YouTube, for example. We're going to ask that you instead put it into OneDrive or Google Drive and share the link out from there. We have to be aware of just not showing our students' faces and getting that out into the public area. And apparently there's been a lot of that going on. So we just have to really be sensitive about privacy concerns around that. Yeah, so those are the protocols that I would find about that, is downloading it right straight to your computer and then shooting it up to OneDrive or Google Drive and sharing out the link that way, not putting it in YouTube and not storing it in the cloud. Okay, meeting canceled, click. Alternative host is set. This is good practice too. When someone scheduled a meeting for a host, okay. I'm not even sure you guys could see that blur. Okay, that's not going to be. Okay, yeah, I think we've scrolled down to the bottom there. Any questions so far about those settings?
Sharon, I didn't change anything from what you did the other day, so I'm just conscious that I missed something because it's already set.
Okay, and I think that's the point that I wanted to make. The waiting room, you had it activated. For example, from the other day, Emma?
It's all the same, Emma, as far as I can see as well. I wouldn't worry.
Okay, good. Okay, and I guess the protocols that I wanted to share were this 30-minute rule of not sending out the link and just being aware not to drop it into what could be a public place where it could be shared out to other people. I can't recall the other day, did I show you guys how to link up your Outlook with Zoom? We went through that. Okay, for those that are new to this.
Sharon, one quick question. Could you just remind me how you got to those settings online? You just go to the web US,
yeah,
log in, and then it's there?
Then you go to your profile in the corner, the top right-hand corner, click on it, and then you should come to this page.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I have linked my account with my Outlook. And if you're on that page again, if you're at the topmost level, the profile page, you're going to find an opportunity to link your calendar and contact integration with Zoom. I've already got it set up, but if you haven't done that yet, I'm going to strongly encourage you to click on it, choose Outlook. I think you get to a second choice of choosing between two sort of authentication packages. And I think it's the one on the far right.
Hi, Sharon. Mine says Google Exchange Office 365.
Office 365 is what you want.
This was under profile, right?
This is under profile, correct. And just scroll down a bit. So I'm on profile page. I see my name, my account number, and then I scroll down a little bit there, and you should get to a place where you find calendar and contact integration.
And do I also have with OAuth 2.0?
Then it's saying authorize with EWS or authorize with OAuth 2.0.
Authorized with 2.0,
Okay.
Thank you.
only because the first one fails. So.
It's either or. You're going to get a failure or you're going to get it flies through. Okay.
So how will this, currently it's linked to my Gmail account. How will this change? Will it still be linked to both?
I don't know, because I'm only linked with my Summersfield account, and I'm going to encourage you to do it with your Summersfield account, because then it'll have that integration with your address book. So it'll be super easy to send out those emails to the students. Yeah.
Just a quick question. Is there an email, like let's say if I want to email M3B, is there an
Okay, I want to get to that. And that was a really good question that was brought up today by Fabi. So Fabi, just a nod to you. Thank you for kind of putting that on my radar. So I'm going to go over to my Outlook right now. Have you guys any more questions about that? You guys have all gone through the authorization process and you're now linked.
Sorry. I just typed in zoom.us and all I just get is like a post office, like nothing comes up. Am I?
Just do zoom.com.
Yeah, try
Okay.
Zoom.com then, because I think it then defaults over to zoom.us. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'll wait for you, Kim. Just can you give me a thumbs up when you're there and you found it? Are you good, Kim? Did you find it? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my Outlook right now. I'm looking at the client version, the one that's installed on my laptop. You can also, of course, go through your web-based mail, but the reason I'm heading over here to my Microsoft Outlook is to show how to set up groups. So I'm here, got it in front of me, and I go up to the top, view, file, choose new. Can you guys all see this? Can you give me you see that I'm choosing new group? Awesome, thank you. So go to new group and it's gonna walk you through the ability to set up your group. So imagine it's M2B, you would call it, M2B, and then it's going to give you a group email address and you can give yourself a little description. It's just going to continue, walking through, and then you can enter in all the members. And it's a one-time thing where you enter in all the members from your class group or anything in any group that you want to do. And then it's going to be super easy to just go and start a new email and from there be able to just, say I want it's M2C group, and then it's going to populate it with all those kids' names, and then it's going to shoot it out to those kids. Does that make sense? And thank you, Kate, for bringing that up. And I hope that makes sense for everyone to.
What I'm looking at doesn't look like what I have. I have the green background thing, so I think I'm on a different. I don't have the blue background, but the green background that says outlook.office.com. Can I create that the same way like I used to create groups?
I haven't explored that yet, so let me just take a second and see if I can find it. I'll go over to my mail here.
I've already created groups for my Model UN parents or my personal project teachers. Is that the same way, right? I can create a class the same way.
Yes. Yes, you should be able to. I can't find it. Is anyone been able to find it on the web-based version?
If you're on the web-based one and you go to the left side and you scroll down, you'll see groups, and then just right-click on the group and click new group.
On the left-hand side, did you say?
Yeah, do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah. Just a second. I think I have to enable you to be able to share the screen. So let me stop share for mine, and then okay. So Kim, you'll be able to do it now.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the left-hand side over here, you have like new message. If you scroll down,
it's way down there in groups. Okay.
Just right-click on groups. I can do it here, and then new group.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much, Kim. Okay, that's awesome.
What? I didn't see new group. What did you say? Did you see it? So see if you scroll down on the left side, you'll see groups.
Yeah.
And then if you just right-click on that.
Oh, right-click on that.
Yeah, and then you new group.
Nah, doesn't work.
You have a Mac, so I'm assuming you do like you click your two fingers on the.
Yeah, it's still not happening.
Not working?
Yep. But I know how to create a group, so I've
okay.
My way.
The web browser is basically the same. I don't think it's any different to the. Donor? I don't know. I've created groups before, so I'll do that.
I have a Mac and it's working for me.
It's working for you? What am I doing wrong? New group?
So do you create, it says to put in an email. So you make a new email?
Yeah, so let me see. What? Why is it not working for me?
And Laura, are you using the web-based one for sure, or are you maybe using the mail app?
Maybe the mail app. Mine is green.
Are you on PC? Are you on your school laptop?
Mac?
Okay.
That's bizarre. Okay, I'll work it out. I don't want to waste everybody's time. Sorry.
But you know how to make groups anyway. It should be fine. Like once you actually figure out and make a new group, just add in all the emails for each class, and it should be okay.
Kim, so when you do that, it's asking to put in a new email. So I just make up an email for them?
So you can call it like M3B at Summersfield.
Okay.
And then you put in all their individual emails after to show they're in that group.
It's summersfield.bm, or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter. bm.net. It means, so when you go to type in like new message, you type in M3B at summersfield.bm instead of all the individual emails. That's the new email.
In fact, I think when you name it, say you just name it M3B, all you have to do is type in M3B. You don't even have to do the rest of the email part of it. It's quite straightforward.
But should we put them all as for individual subjects though? Should mine not be just for PE? Because otherwise everyone's going to be getting bombarded if we're all using the same M3 email.
Yeah, you need to put your subject, right? So M5 French, M5, I don't know. No.
Tailor it whatever you want. You could call it M3B PE, M3B design, M3 blue, whatever.
Yeah, only you are going to see this. It's just
I won't see it.
Your group. Yeah, it's your group setup. Yeah.
But when I go to put in the email addresses, I'm not getting it's not popping up. Like I went to put in Greg's just to see if it would come up, but it's not like I need to actually manually write them out. It's not using.
It's not working for me. I don't seem to be able to create a group.
All right, let me just have a little check.
I mean, I can go in and copy and paste them from that list that you sent me, but it's not pulling up the my contacts for the group, funnily enough.
Yeah, if it's not doing that, then I would just say copy and paste them over, and it's a one-time thing. Once it's done, it's done. And you've got your group ready to go.
Okay. Cool.
My laptop is just freezing.
I'm not sure unless you have questions, whether you, unless you have questions, I'm saying, and you're in a good place with all of this, then I would say the workshop's over and you can go on. I don't want to keep people unnecessarily on their machine, because I recognize we're asking a lot today. And so, go out and have a walk outside, go enjoy, take a breath away from your laptops. And I guess we'll continue with Microsoft Teams later this afternoon.
Sharon, super quick.
Yep.
Just in terms, I'm thinking of, it seems like most use will be with screen sharing. So are there any difficulties that people might come across trying to share screens with the kids, or anything else that we should all be aware of, that possible obstacles, other scrolling through, internet connection?
Okay, yeah, a couple of things about that. That's probably a good point to bring up. What you should know about sharing the screen is that anyone with a mobile device, when they're coming in with a phone, they're not going to be able to see the shared screen. They're only going to be able to come in with audio, and but not the video part. So just be aware of that, because I think some of our kids might do that. So be self-conscious about that, I guess. Figure out who those kids are. Maybe they don't have access to another device, and tailor it according to what your session's going to be. I would hope that they're all coming in via computer or laptop, but it's possible that's not going to happen.
And if we're, say something happens for the kids and we're showing a PowerPoint, would you say it's advisable? This is what I'm thinking. ManageBack, the stream would work well on ManageBack, where if we want to post whatever we'd see on the screen for the kids, is that getting too complicated, or do you think that's advisable, that would be a good backup?
That's a good backup. I mean, yeah, why not? I think we did that I feel like we did that the week before we broke. I want to get, Summer just asked a question and I want to address it. Summer, we're asking everybody to send out an email with the link only, not to post it in post that link in public places, and to do it within 30 minutes of the meeting. And I know a lot of you, and I wish we could schedule the meetings a week in advance or whatever, because, you know, you want to grab that moment and just shoot out the invitation when it's on your time, and you know, good for you. But because of these privacy concerns and what's happening, I think we just have to be more conservative on how we do that. Okay, somebody's asking me to just scroll over the adjustments I just made in the profile one last time for a couple of you guys. And I'm really happy to do that. But if you, 30-minute window is also good. Yeah, so they don't lose the invitation. That's a good point too, Sophia. So I'll share my screen. I'll go back to, and if you feel you're in a good place, don't feel you have to continue with this meeting. You know, if you're like all set up with your profile settings and you're all that, then you know, go and have a nice day, and we'll see you a little bit later on. Okay, so we're gonna go to that.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, cheers.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna try to sort out my group thing, which I made work before, so I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it this time. So, but I can work it out.
It's also not let me and Laura, so I don't know whether it's like an office issue today, but if you scroll down and go to discover groups, and then it also lets you create a group from that as well. So have a little play around with it.
Discover.
See what you can
Okay.
I'm not able to set up groups either.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's just a thing on the online one or whether it's just a Microsoft issue today.
Yeah,
I'll try it again later.
Okay, I've got to leave now. Sorry, I've got to go to another meeting. But thank you.
Nice to see you guys.
Bye. Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Okay, so those that are still here with us, we'll just walk through these settings one more time, and you know, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. Okay, so host video should be turned off. Participants video should be turned off. Audio type is telephone and computer audio. Do not allow participants to join the meeting before the host arrives. The suggestion is not to use your personal meeting room, but to let the system generate a random number for you. So just keep going down. The participants need to know. I've turned the authentication off because and we'll have to see if this is going to work out, and just see if we need to later on. I think with this one. Requirement of passwords, it's really up to you. I'd rather not. If you are going to create one with the password built into the link, I would recommend that. We'll have to just go through time and see if everything's safe that way, but there might come a time we'll have to reconsider. So for now, no. I have it set for instant meetings, just because I want to be a bit more conservative about that. Yeah, embed password and meeting link for one-click join should be activated. Require password for participants joining by phone.
Sharon, you skipped over, or did I not hear it? Require password for personal meeting ID. That's on or off?
Okay, I have it on, but I've just suggested not to have personal meeting activated anyway, so it's sort of a moot point.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay, so require password for participants, mute participants upon entry. This is a really super important one, as well as the video, as we said. Chat, prevent participants from saving chats. That should be activated. Chat should be activated, but prevent participants from saving chat should also be activated. Don't allow private chats. And I don't autosave my chats, but that might be something, if you are asking students to engage in a chat in which learning might be happening, and you want to, if you want to hold on to that, you may want to activate that as per your lesson. Play sound when participants join or leave. I have her host only because I found it was really distracting to the students that week before we broke, and they were like, oh, turn the chime off. So I just have it just only me as as the host can hear it. So I know that someone's coming in. File transfer, yes, but I'm gonna, I mean, we may wanna share rubrics, we may wanna share some kind of file with the kids in a Zoom meeting. I think we're gonna have to evaluate whether or not it should be used or not, depending on what kids are sharing, what kind of files they're sharing, right? Feedback to Zoom, what else have we got here? I think co-host and polling is not permitted with your basic, which is sort of unfortunate because one of the suggestions I made to Charlie was that for the teachers that are feeling less confident about their tech skills, that one of we tech coaches could come in the meeting with you and co-host it, and then we'd be able to help walk you through. And we're really, really willing to do that. So just let us know if you'd like us to join you in any of your Zoom meetings. And polling is always good to get an idea about kids and how they're doing and stuff, but you guys don't have that. Having said that, even if we can't be co-hosts, we can still lend a hand, if you want us to come in. Okay, who can share? Screen sharing, this is an important one to allow it, but host only. You can change that in the middle of a Zoom call, and then like I did with Kim, I was able to activate screen sharing for all participants and then hand it over to her. So, but initially, host only should be activated there. Okay, disable desktop screen share for users. I've got that not activated because I do want to be able to enable it eventually. Whiteboard, annotation. Okay, nonverbal. Allow removed participants to rejoin. I'm not sure. Can someone let me know if you see this in your version or whether this is, yes, you got. Okay, good. There may be someone who maybe they can't figure out how to turn off their audio or something, and they're just being disruptive in a meeting. So you want to be able to temporarily remove them from the meeting and let them get themselves sorted and then bring them back in, if that makes any sense, and breakout rooms, I do want to experiment with that. I'm kind of excited about that. And that's virtual background is really a personal preference for you. I've got it activated. You may come to a place where it's like, no, these kids are just, they're not, it's too distracting, so let's turn it off. That's going to be up to you to make that decision. Identify guest participants, yes. And I think the rest is all there. Oh, waiting room, there it is. I would definitely have this activated. A week ago, I would have said, no, let's not put any more barriers into getting the kids in. But because of these security issues, I think this is an important one that we have to unfortunately use. Does that make sense to everybody so far? Yeah, good, okay. Join from browser link, yes, because we, again, don't want to put any barriers up for students to be able to join us. And I've got these other things activated. I think it's just polite to have those things activated so that people have the information that they need. Okay, is there?
What about blur snapshots off?
This is only for iOS task switcher. This is only for someone who is using an iOS machine, and that's going to be an iPad or a iPhone. So I haven't activated it because I haven't used it, so I don't have it activated. But if you think kids are going to be coming in that way,
that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. I haven't read, let's put it this way, I haven't read anything to suggest that this is linked to positively or negatively for security. So.
And this is all saving automatically, right? I don't see the save button. I think I've seen it flash up that it's saved, right?
I beg your pardon?
This all just ultimately saves. There's no big save button at the end.
No. And you should, in fact, it syncs with your client-based one. So when you go over to your client-based one, it should have synced with it. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? Are there any other questions?
I got one more question, but it's about that Outlook email setting. So is there another time I can talk about that, or is it the right form?
Do you mean authenticating it from the profile page, or do you mean setting up?
Yes.
The setting one. I've found a way to do it from the app. It's working. It's not letting me do it from the web-based stuff. From the app, it does. My question was, when we create those groups,
Okay.
do we enter the kids' personal email address that we might have from prior interactions, or do we have to use the Microsoft, the official?
Oh, I see. Because yeah, you're right. There are some rogues in I think the M5 group, for example. I don't have a personal preference for that. I would go with what they're going to reach for. I think that.
Aren't there school emails associated with the ones that we're pulling from Microsoft Teams? Aren't in the process? Yeah.
Yes, it is. But
I've told all of my students to use the school email.
Okay. Yeah, as you wish. I mean, I don't have a feeling one way or the other about that. I think for the younger kids, I think we should insist on it, but we do have those rogues in M5 and maybe the DP ones. I don't know. Does anyone feeling
for M5, you can make a group with their Summersfield and their personal, so they're going to get 2 emails.
2 emails, yeah. We can do that too.
Like Greg, Nick, I know they all have Gmail, and yeah.
That's a safer.
Yeah, I have a couple of DPs, but I do want them all to have Summersfield. I have linked some of them if there are other personal emails and other ranges, but I prefer all Summersfield.
They should be checking that one because this is.
Yes.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, that's true. If they're going to be using Teams, it's going to be really easy for them to check their email because it's all connected. Yeah.
From best practices, I just thought that we should not be using personal emails whatsoever because you could get yourself into trouble.
Okay.
I from other schools, I just thought you always use the school platform. I don't know.
The only reason I have their Gmails is from Google Classroom. So it's like, I have to just send them emails and that as well. And then sometimes they'll say to me, Miss, I don't even look at my school email. I only look at my Gmail.
No, yeah.
But that's only M5, so I wouldn't do it with anybody else. Definitely not.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're shifting culture here. Like we're when Kim and I came in back in September, they'd already made the decision to go rogue and weren't checking their email, but we've had a shift where we now need to. So they're going to have to just go with the flow like the rest of us. So.
Can I ask a question just quickly? Can you do, this sounds weird. So say I want to just talk my students through a PowerPoint and record it, but I'm not actually having them in the call. So let's say, I don't know, for some reason, it's just crazy with the kids. And I think, okay, I'm just going to record this PowerPoint with me talking through it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could use Zoom for that, or you could use a screencasting tool. We're going to be looking at some other screencasting tools this afternoon.
Okay.
So
what do you think is better?
Okay. For my experience, and I've been doing a lot of recording of interviews and stuff the last couple of weeks and using Zoom a lot, it seems to take a lot of space on my laptop. So from that angle, I might suggest the screencasting tool instead, because I think the file sizes are going to be smaller. Kim, do you have anything to add about that? I know you've used a lot of screencasting tools too. Kim Owens, is she still?
Yes. Do you want to just repeat what we were talking about there? Sorry, I'm just answering questions from people as well. So.
Okay, no worries. Kim Rose was asking what we recommended as a screencasting tool, and we know that you could use Zoom just like I'm doing right now to capture that, but I found that the file sizes were really large. But can you speak to the screencasting tools like Loom and
it kind of depends what you like. Like Screencastify is only on your browser, so you have to go to your browser each time. But if you feel like your Wi-Fi is not very good, I would suggest using Loom, so Loom.
Okay.
Go to Google and type in loom.com. You can download that to your desktop, and then you can just make screencasts then offline. Like you don't need the internet or anything.
And how big are the file sizes? I guess that was a concern. Like, are they?
For Loom, I can't actually remember, but I think Loom was fine. Any ones I made that were quite big were uploading and downloading and saving fine. So I think Loom's the best, really.
Okay.
Do you know that Joyanne has been using Screencast-O-Matic?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is just as good as Loom. Download that as well. And she likes it because whenever you're using your mouse, it puts a huge circle around your mouse so the kids can see what you're actually pointing at as well, which is quite good.
Oh, this is reminding me, and this is a security concern. If you are using Zoom and recording, immediately after it's saved the recording, it defaults the same bloody name for that file. It'll put it in a different folder or create a different folder based on the day, but it uses the same name, Zoom 0.mp4 or something like that. And that's become a real security concern because people haven't been changing the file names and then uploading them places. And yeah, just be aware that change the file name to something meaningful before you post it anywhere. Otherwise it might get hacked. That's been another concern. All the reading I've done on this, oh my word. Zoom has really put a target right on their forehead because they have exponentially grown in user numbers, right? And so hackers have just, you know, they're a sitting duck right now. So they've exploited and they've taken advantage of it. So just want to.
I'm sorry, I just want a clarification. So we have screencasting, we have Loom, and we have Zoom. And
right.
This is for pre-recording or going through your PowerPoints or something of that order. I think, and you're going over that this afternoon in detail, is that correct?
I thought I saw it on the schedule. We'll certainly spend some time on it. Now,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, like you could do a pre-recorded one where you sit at home at night and you record your screen like a PowerPoint or something.
Yes.
You could do a live class with the kids where you share your screen like Sharon's doing now. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do, but pre-record is probably the handiest.
Okay, that's the one I need to go over. It's the pre-recorded one. This one's fine, but okay, thank you.
No worries.
Okay, I need more questions. I don't want to keep you beautiful people from going out there and enjoying your day. So
in 15 minutes, so 10 minutes, we're supposed to have another one, right? Another, that's called Microsoft Teams for IB.
When does that one start?
12, that's what it says.
12.
Yep. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now, and I'm gonna definitely go out and I'm gonna end this meeting and
I wish I had sleep last night.
I'm gonna say bye-bye everybody, and I'll send out a new link to the Microsoft Teams stuff. So ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye.